Morning all. So we're going to start off this morning with a news of the day video, and I was hoping there'd be something Anaheim related, but I made it work. So the hat I got was for when I knew I was going to get this jersey, and yes, this is screen printed, but honestly, there isn't really a way to make this logo like the regular logos on jerseys, and I'm just glad I have it. So matches perfect. Like I said to my wife last night, when the world opens up and we're out in crowds and stuff, she can't lose me. This is an outfit that is impossible to lose me with. At least if she's honest about it, right? All right. So the big news today is Alexander Steen. Steen is retired, and it's an unofficial retirement in that he will go on long-term injured reserve for the last year of his contract. So due to back problems, which we've heard rumors about how Steen's not quite right. And we heard rumors that he may not play this season, and now it's just confirmed that he wasn't going to play, and so his cap hit will go on to the LTIR to start the season. It does free up a little bit more space for St. Louis. I don't think that if they had known this months ago that they would have been able to keep Pietrangelo, because I don't think they wanted to spend that much money on Pietrangelo, to be honest. So Steen, the number 24 pick by the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2002. Won the Cup in 2019 with the Blues, 1,018 games played in his career, 245 goals, 377 assists, 622 points. And of course, his father, Thomas Steen, excellent member of the Winnipeg Jets for a long time. So there you go. Pretty decent family tree right there. Two pretty good NHLers. And so kudos to Alexander Steen on an excellent career and enjoy retirement. And I would imagine he ends up having a position within the St. Louis organization. Now, this has been noteworthy, and I'm going to touch on this not for very long because I don't want to dwell on it. The Blackhawks are again saying there's no plans to change branding, no plans to change the name, the logo, nothing. That's not happening. And the Vancouver Canucks came out yesterday in, of course, related news and said, hey, look, First Nations in the area really like the logo, and we work with First Nations in the community, and this is true. I've seen it at games, and certainly if there was a problem with it, somebody would say something locally, and I've never heard it. So it was kind of nice to see First Nation leaders in this area coming out publicly and saying, no, there's no problem with the Canucks logo. And what was said as well was that the orca they use doesn't look like native design. It's too cartoony to be a native design. So some of the logos I've seen online where people are saying, oh, you could make it like this, and it's more of a native design. Yeah, that would then be a problem. The logo that they have, they don't consider to be any kind of a problem. Basically, they look at this and they go, yeah, we wouldn't design that. That's not how it would look if we made that. So they don't see it being any kind of a problem. Francesco Aquilini's come out and said there's not a change coming, so that puts that fire out, I would imagine. Speaking of fire, though, Sven Baertschi's not lost his. So there's a segue for you. He's confident he's going to stick with the Canucks. And you know what? I like Sven. I do, and I hope he does. I honestly do. I wasn't happy with the idea of him being the cap casualty when he got sent down. Canucks needed cap space, and his contract was one of those ones they could waive and send him down. I know they've tried trading his contract. Nobody's taken it. I would really like to see Baertschi have a good year and bounce back and get back into the lineup with the Canucks. He can be a really solid player. It's just a matter of him staying healthy. And so there you go. Jaromir Jagr, speaking of staying healthy, 48 years of age and still scoring. Got an assist to open his season in the Czech League, and that's his 32nd season. 32nd season has opened, and he gets a point right away. So Jaromir Jagr is still playing. He is still a National Hockey League eligible player. He's never retired. So when I hear people saying, oh, when's Jagr going in the Hall? I don't know that he ever does. He's going to play till he's like 80. The funny part is reading an interview with him where basically he said, yeah, things are slowing down a bit. Maybe I'll think about retiring when I'm 50. So the motivation this guy has is fantastic. And the 32nd season, that feels like a lot of professional hockey league seasons. Obviously not just NHL, that's in every league, but that's a long time. Speaking of good things, Bjorn Levin or Bjorn Levin, right? Bjorn Levin's been cleared in match fixing. So they did an investigation and pretty quickly realized, yeah, nah. Just none of that's on purpose. Players do not throw games. That doesn't happen. And I know in this day and age, people are automatically suspicious of certain results in sports. Players don't throw games. I really don't believe they do. Especially in a championship when I see, well, they threw it. Are you kidding me? So you spend 25 years, building your way up through every rank of hockey or every rank of baseball or football or anything. You have a chance to win a championship and you just go, they're giving me $1,000. I'm just going to throw it. Like, it's just, I just can't see it. So, glad to see that Bjorn Levin was cleared. And, or Bjorn Levin. And I agree. There was a comment I saw yesterday that said they'd like to see their jersey have a head of Bjork, the artist, as their crest. And I agree. Although there's probably some copyright there. She probably owns her own face. I say probably just because of issues I've had with T-shirts sold through the merchandise on this channel, and them cropping up as we think this might be copyrighted, and me going, it's my face. Who copyrighted my face? Anyways, kind of roundabout trade rumor news. Philadelphia was apparently trying to sign Laine or acquire Laine, and then likely sign him to a long-term extension, right? The whole conversation is basically two things. One, that he wants guaranteed first-line time. That Winnipeg won't guarantee him first-line time. And that he's going to want a lot of money. And Winnipeg isn't in a position to offer him an absolute truckload of money. There's a lot of good young players in Winnipeg. You'd have to sacrifice one to keep him. Maybe two. And so Philadelphia was looking at Laine. Laine is going to score 50 goals at some point in the NHL. It's going to happen. And if he went to Philadelphia, that might speed it up. I think he would fit in really, really well in Philly. And I'm not sure what Winnipeg would ask for in return, but I'd make it a king's ransom. Because honestly, he would fit in Philly, and I think Philadelphia would be happy and Winnipeg would regret it. All right. Now, there's some talk, and Elliot Friedman says that as well, that there's discussions of bubbles to start the season. Not for the whole season, but to start the season. And as I've said in videos, I think you could do 2 weeks of scheduling and say, okay, for the next 2 weeks we're in the bubble. We'll see where we are in 2 weeks. And just do it 2 weeks at a time. You can have players rotating in and rotating out here and there. Of course, it's a controlled environment, but if they do that, apparently the most likely spots are Columbus, Newark, which is in New Jersey, Vegas, and Edmonton or Toronto for the Canadian hub. And the odds are, if they do that, we'll see hockey during the day, all day. Not every day, because you need to have days off for teams. But yeah, that could make for some long days for this guy here watching hockey. But considering we've had 6 weeks, 7 weeks of hockey since March, I really do. I miss it, and so that would kind of be nice. So if the NHL does go that route, we'll see, and it'll be one division in each hub. This is part of the reason why they're saying teams are only going to play against other teams in their division. Basically, it's 4 separate leagues under NHL control. Every division's kind of a league of itself. And apparently as well, and this again is from Elliot Friedman, they're still looking at it as top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. And if they were going to look at changing playoff formats and maybe an expansion of the playoffs, they may look at that for the 2022 playoffs, not for 2021, which is what we're talking about now. So we'll see what they announce. Apparently the paperwork is being worked on. It's close. And again, I know I've said that before, but apparently it's close. And they're still, both the PA and the NHL, looking at this as a January 13th start. And they can do it because the training camp would start, say, the 2nd of January. So middle of January start would be, I didn't say June, did I? I don't think I might have said June. I'm just thinking of going, did I just say June? But yeah, January start, January 13th. They believe that they can still get this done. Players are already mostly in cities, depending on the city though. Don't get panicked. Talking Vancouver fans, I think there's 8 Canucks that are in town. Don't get panicked that there aren't that many Canucks in town. It honestly, for a lot of them, I don't think it'll take that long for them to ramp up. So yeah, they're still working on it. I'll be here to report on it when it's done. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, it's a great day because I finally have a Wild Wing jersey. So that's perfect. And I also consider that with that Tampa Bay reverse retro, I don't need a Storm jersey. I mean, if I had one, great, but I don't really, because the blue one's the same kind of basic design, just without the ugly. So works for me. All right. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot, and I will talk to you again soon.